hello, and welcome to All About the Bass, and a bit of a new sort of monthly feature that we're going to do.
Yes.
You know, which is we're going to feature great bass players. Really, you know, just once a month we're going to do that. And who are we doing this month?
The amazing Chuck Rainey.
Yeah.
One of the most recorded bass players of all time. As we'll get into, and as you're probably hearing the intro, a bass player for Steely Dan on a number of albums.
He was, like that sort of latest 70s period. That, you know, some of my favourite Steely Dan stuff. He plays almost exclusively on those. Because, you know, Walter Becker played bass a lot, you know, in early Steely Dan, and then kind of gradually played less and less.
And more guitar.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. And Chuck features a lot on those records. And, you know, with just some amazing bass lines.
And again, like the James Jamerson one we did, I apologise, it's not perfect. But that's part of it, you know.
But, you know, you're getting the feel across, that's the main thing.
Yeah, that's it. But amazing. Check out loads of Steely Dan. I mean, we'll go through a few more people that he's played with. You're going to have heard of all of them.
Well, who has he played with? I mean...
Oh, hasn't he? Yeah. So Michael Jackson, Quincy Jones, Frankie Valli, Ray Charles...
Aretha Franklin, did you say that?
Yeah.
Obviously Steely Dan.
Steely Dan loads.
It's ridiculous. If you just go and check out Wikipedia, the list is like unbelievably long of the who's who of great artists. I mean, Chuck really has played with everybody.
Well, if there's anything to go by his website...
what does that say? That's because I don't even believe this is possible. What does it say?
We were trying to work out. If you needed... Okay, so 12,000 albums...
that he's played on.
And 149,000 songs.
I mean, whoa! He's being a busy boy, isn't he? I mean, maybe that's reissues are counted in that as well.
Possibly, yeah.
Phone in. Give us a message, Chuck, and let us know.
Man.
We need to know.
Either way, I know it's a ridiculous amount.
It's a lot. He's like one of the most recorded bass players ever. So
150,000 songs.
That's a lot of songs, isn't it? It's giving me cramp just thinking about it.
We're just playing one of them, and that was hard enough.
Yeah. So what's the deal with Chuck then? I mean, gear-wise, what was his sort of thing?
So actually, a 50s P bass. Actually, in this colour, I think he had this,
right.
Which is quite nice. I was looking through all the pictures and everything, and most of them were in this like white blonde maple board.
Okay.
Not too sure about the anodized scratch plate, but yeah, very very similar to this. This is the American original, the Fender American original basses that have just come out, the 50s version. So. Yeah, this is it's a lovely American bass. He's around that sort of £1,600. But I'm going through a little rumble for now. His favourite amp of use apparently was the B15 Ampeg.
I think that was kind of industry standard, wasn't it, in those days?
It must have been, because we mentioned that on the James Jamerson one as well. That was his preferred Ampeg, preferred Ampeg.
Yeah. Although, of course, in the studio, as with James Jamerson, I think Chuck probably DI'd a lot. Certainly, especially as the years went on. Yeah. Because that just kind of is the standard thing to do in studios most of the time is DI the bass.
Go straight through the desk. Yeah.
And then you can sort of process it in the studio, As opposed to miking up an amplifier, you just go straight in and then it's recorded straight to tape, through some compressors and EQ and stuff like that. Some nice valve gear.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Well, we're looking at his live setup as well. I think he used a number of different basses over the years, and that was what we were looking at. I mean, there was a Spectre in there at one point. And, was it Keith Jones? But there's loads of different variants. But mostly that first era, so 60s and getting into the 70s, was with the P bass.
And is he still going? Do we know? Sean?
Well, I think so. You were saying it's 78. He's nearly 80 now. He's still with us.
Yeah. Yes.
He's still Bill with us. And we probably played for him as well.
He probably has. Yeah. I'm pretty sure he has.
And so he is, but unfortunately, I think I read that he had a stroke a few years ago.
Okay.
So I don't know how active he is now.
Okay. Well, to be honest with you, Chuck, put your feet up, mate.
Man,
150,000 songs. Have a rest, all right?
Too right.
That's enough. You've been greedy, quite frankly.
I
could have done with a few of those. Yeah. It's outrageous.
Yeah, so recently I was looking through, and obviously Asia was one of the big Steely Dan albums that he played on. Classic album.
Yeah.
Go and listen to Asia. If you haven't listened to Asia and you haven't seen heard that masterpiece, because it's amazing. But they did a reunion recently. Recently, 91. In comparison, when was that? About 30 years ago nearly. But I was 3.
Oh.
You wasn't born.
I was 56.
Shut up! but they tried to get that vibe back, I think. So Walter Becker was there, Gad, I think. I didn't realise Jeff Porcaro played a lot with Steely Dan at some point as well. Yeah, so doing a lot of backing tracks.
Yeah, he did. Jeff Porcaro did. Rick Marotta, of course. Bernard Purdie, famously.
Bernard Purdie, yes, yeah.
This is the thing, right? This is. Sorry to keep going on about Steely Dan, but you know it's a testament to Chuck that they use him so much because they are. I mean, I know Walter's passed away, sadly, but Donald's still around, and they were so fussy about the quality of the musicians that they used, you know, and they would quite often they'd record a track with a band, and the next day they just have a whole other band would come in and they'd try it with those guys and see how that went, you know, and if that didn't work. Next day, a whole other band of dudes, but they were always the best dudes.
Yeah. But just trying to get that feel.
Yeah, just get it exactly what was in their heads. They were trying to get that on the tape. You know?
Yeah.
But you know, Chuck, he's there, man. He's consistently there.
Yeah, too right. And you were mentioning again, we're still on Steely Dan, but Katie Lyde, Gaucho. Is it Royal Scam?
The Royal Scam, Pretzel Logic. I think that's where he started playing with them. He's just, loads of the great Steely Dan stuff. You know?
Oh, it's amazing stuff on. Oh, I could start talking about Steely Dan for hours, but Steely Dan, Royal Scam, Green Earrings. You know that song? That's another flyer. Lots and lots of chords and lots of They
did lots of chords. Those
boys.
Did
like a chord or two.
But of course, that was only a little bit of his career. He just played with all these other amazing artists.
Absolutely, yeah, and this is we're trying to touch on his sort of technique. I know he got into more that that ghost noted sort of feel, and there. I know that I play a little bit like that anyway, so it wasn't exact ghost notes that I was playing for his bit. But you listen through his the track on that particular song, you can hear it, all that subtlety in the background that comes through that just adds with the drums. You know, these other little bits of rhythm that comes just from the bass.
Yeah.
Do you know what a ghost note is? A ghost note. It's just doing that, pretty much.
Wow.
Oh, you can't hear me, can you, if I do that?
Yeah, well, do that in some playing then, so we can hear that.
Okay, yeah. So the chorus bit of that. So.
Okay, so that's kind of some percussive stuff.
Yeah,
that's
between
making
the notes.
Yeah. So it's making like a whole part.
That's it.
Not just playing some root notes and stuff. You're actually really filling in.
Yeah,
like a whole rhythm part.
It is. Yeah, absolutely. And I think a lot of that's where the kind of the slap thing then ended up coming through with Larry Graham, wasn't it? He was just trying to get that.
Well,
drum sound
he wasn't shy of doing a bit of slapping either, because there's a great. They do a classic albums on Asia. And Chuck's on that. If you haven't seen that, watch it. It's brilliant. Classic albums, Asia, Steely Dan, and he's talking about doing Peg.
Yeah,
you know that track, and he does a bit of there's some slapper on the chorus, and he said that Donald Fagen and Walter Becker weren't overly keen on that, but he said he just kind of he had a partition studio. It was like a soundproof partition set up in front of him, and he kind of just sat down a bit lower in his chair. And when he got to the chorus, he just did it anyway. And I think he kind of got away with it, you know. They obviously went, no, it sounds all right.
Sounds all right. Oh, man.
We'll let him do it.
But when you really notice it in that song, with the chorus, don't you? Like, just that little... That rhythm that really cuts through. So it's those little ideas, isn't it? And that I think make these bass players that we're talking about so special. Little moments.
Well, yeah, because they're guys that can come into the studio and you can sort of give them... I know that Walter Becker did have some specific ideas about a lot of things that he told him, but other things were a lot freer, and he said, well, just kind of do what you want to do.
Yeah.
And that's where he really brought his thing to the table, you know.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, working with drummers like, say, Bernard Purdie and Jeff Porcaro as well, that's going to always bring out some extra little sparkle in anyone's bass player, I think, as well, isn't it?
It is.
Oh, the Purdie Shuffle. Check out the Purdie... Oh, I'm going to throw out loads. Bernard Purdie doing the Purdie Shuffle. You seen that tuition video?
Yeah.
Oh, it's the happiest person playing any instrument you would ever imagine. But yeah, after you've seen this, Bernard Purdie Shuffle, you won't be disappointed. So
there you have it.
Absolutely. Well, shall we? Well, actually, I'll show you. So we're trying to do it on two budgets. We've got the Kemper setup. Nathan's going for the guitar. But obviously, with this, we mentioned about the B15 Ampeg that Chuck really wanted to. Is his favourite amp. James Jameson, when we mentioned it on the previous video, also used that. But you can have that obviously set up in this Kemper unit. It means you don't have to spend years trying to find one and then spend about 6 grand on an original, you've got profiled on the Kempers. So, and it's a lot lighter than the B15 MPEG.
Oh, well, that's true.
And not as delicate, and not as rare. So we've put it through, say, 115 cab for that sort of the bass tone, because he was preferred with a 115, with an American original Fender P, but also we thought we'd get the rumble out. Get a little rumble on, because this Rumble 100 just sounds amazing.
Yeah, we've been using that all day, and it's such a great amp, I'll tell you.
It's just really, it's really kicking it out, and this is a 112 speaker, but it sounds so big.
It is.
So I think I'm going to swap over to our more affordable option on the bass, which is one of the standard Fender P basses.
Where's that made?
This is made in Mexico, and actually we've got these on a little bit of a deal, just to throw this in at the same time. Because it's now the Player Series.
Right.
So the Fender Player Series now is the new incarnation of the Mexican Standard. But we've got a few Mexican Standards left, and we've dropped it by about 130 quid.
Okay.
So these are 529. With the rumble, you're looking just under 300 quid. So you can get a nice, big, warm Chuck sound for about 800 quid.
Okay.
Yeah. So
that's all right.
That's that. Or say you want to go full hog, get something as close to the original as you can, without buying a 57p bass and spending, just remortgaging your house basically.
That'd be a lot of dough now, I guess, those things.
And the Kemper, which is a little bit pricier, 1,200 quid, 1,300 quid.
Yeah, they start at that, but then I think you want a powered one, it's probably going to be 1,800 quid.
You're right.
And then, you've got to buy the cab. And, so that's going to be like a 2.2 or something, probably.
Yeah.
Oh, the controller, of course, that's You don't have to have that as a bass player, though.
No, that's true.
But yeah, it's going to cost you a good couple of grand for that and a cab.
For those. I mean, obviously, there's other options available. You get 115 cab and a decent head. You don't have to, if you don't like this type of amp. Obviously, there's some really, really decent stuff. Aguilar tone hammer will sound wicked. The 500 through a 15. Dark glass will give you a massive growly sound if you really want that as well. So there are options on 2 budgets. We thought we'd just try and cover a few of the bases.
Hey!
I didn't mean to do that, but yeah. Okay. Cool. So,
we're gonna
should we play something else?
Let's play something else.
Bear with us. We'll be back.
That's, you know, there's so much more we can say about Chuck, but unfortunately we just don't have time.
Oh, we're out of time for this week.
Because that's just the way it is.
Absolutely.
But the guys are a legend. Check him out. Go and look him up, because the dude's just amazing.
And still with us. Still with us. A living legend.
Absolutely.
And we'll be back. Say, who's next? We'll let you guess. But send through any suggestions. We've got loads. I've got a list along with my arm at the moment.
Yeah, it's featured bass players. Who's going to be the next featured bass player of the month? I wonder. Who could it be? Anyway, thanks for joining us. Hope you've had some fun. And if you have, we'll see you next time. I'm Nathan.
I'm Lee.
This has been All About the Bass. See you again. Bye-bye.
See ya.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching the Andertons Guitar YouTube channel. If you're a drummer or a keyboard player or interested in music technology, you might find one of our other channels interesting, and I'll put details of those in the description below. If you want to find out more about the products we've just featured, please click here. If you'd like to buy a t-shirt like this, please click here. If you want to watch another video on our guitar channel, click down here. And to subscribe to our guitar channel, click here. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.